Hi guys, and happy Valentine's Day. Obviously you've all tuned in today for a bit of a tutorial in terms of how to get from A to B with the box. I'm going to try and do it in real time as possible. Even though this is slightly pre-recorded, I want to do it in real time as possible. So if you do mess it up for whatever reason, we won't be too far apart. I hate the ones that kind of swap and chop and change and things like that. So I want to be as involved in your Valentine's Day as I probably can be, with the exception of going upstairs. Can I say that? I just did anyway, so it's tough. So anyway, as per the instructions, you should have all had your ovens on now, about 180 to 190 degrees. And the first thing we're going to do before we go over the box and get everything organised, the first thing we're going to do in order to get you started on from the oven to the plate in less than 20 minutes, what we want to do is get our bonbons in straight away. So we want to be pre-roasted, pre-pulled, pre-seasoned, pre-spiced, and all things nice. So basically just the tiniest drizzle of oil on there, a tiny season of salt and pepper, and put them in the oven. These are going to take around about 15 minutes, okay? So from now to the start, we're going to be able to introduce the box, finish the tacos, and get everything plated in order for you to start enjoying your starters, okay? So yeah, get these in the oven now for around about, and our oven's like super duper, isn't it? Like it just cooks things like in a flash. So basically what we want to do is that anything between 14 and 18 minutes they're probably going to take to cook, okay? So yeah, preheated oven, 180 degrees. If you're not preheated and you're not organised, pause me now and I'm gonna catch up in a minute because I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, if you don't mind as well, I'm going to be drinking along with you because it's my Valentine's Day too. My first one actually, with the new wife. Oh shit. Dog's leaving me little prezzies around on the floor. You want to see? Oh, I must be so tired. It's only 7 o'clock. Okay, so let's quickly go over the box and try and get everything organised. I'm going to start with the starters and then work our way up to completion, okay? So the first thing you will have noticed is we've pre-sliced and pre-marinated the beef that's going to go in your tacos. Now, it looks really unappetizing, but there's 18 different spices and herbs in there, and then there's about another 12 to 18 more in the sauce as well. So good luck trying to recreate it because you're not going to. But it really packs a punch. The sauce that comes with it as well is pretty spicy. So, but that's the idea of the apple slaw with it as well. So where it's really, some things are really spicy, sometimes you might need a sour cream or basic rice or anything like that. Anything with a bit of cream to it just tones the spice down. But it does have a bit of a kick to it as well, guys. So if you don't want to put the sauce on the tacos later on, then don't worry, that's not a problem. So with them as well, we've got we use different style at the restaurant, but in order for us to make sure that everyone's appliances and everyone's pans, etc., can work, what we've decided to do is just give you basic tortillas, which are completely fine, make a perfect crispy taco anyway. So we're going to get them heated up and moulded into place. Some coriander, which goes well with any form of spice. They use it in a lot of Asian cooking as well. So some of these herbs are Asian influenced as well. So that's the reason we went with coriander, and then just some chilies there. Don't worry, we're not trying to blow your tits off. It's just for garnish. If you don't want to use them, don't worry about it. As you can see, I've already pre-sliced my chilies and everything else is pretty organised. And then we've also got the apple slaw for that. There's two other bits as well. You should have a tomato chili salsa. That's going to go with the bonbons that are already in the oven. And we've also got a whipped feta cheese, which is quite fit, to be honest. You've never tried it, have you? Josh has never tried it, so hopefully we're gonna like it. So basically, we already pre-whipped it for you. Everything's perfectly seasoned in there, and we're gonna pipe it on towards the end as we're plating it up. What you've all paid for is the Chateaubriand 20 ounce, 28-day matured Chateaubriand. Now, obviously, as per your instructions as well, what we want to be doing is we'll be getting that out of the fridge around about an hour before we start to cook it. The reason you want to get any form of meat or red meat out of the fridge before an hour before is because you want to get that core temperature low down. If it's too cold and you want it, say, a rare or a medium rare, there's a chance that inside may still be cold when you're cooking it, and that's not what we want. We want it to be as warm and as tasty and as perfectly cooked as possible. So yeah, if you can get it to out of the fridge an hour before, that really helps. In the aluminium tin as well, we've got the cauliflower cheese. The main thing, the reason I put it in an aluminium tin is because I can't bear washing up. So I just feel like it's going to give you exactly the same result as if you put it in some big fancy dish or anything like that. And by the time you get that, you know, you're probably going to be on your third bottle of wine, hopefully, and a tiny bit frisky. So the last thing you want to be doing is washing the dishes later on. The potatoes, they've already been pre-portioned for you at the restaurant. They're going to be our fondant potatoes. The reason we pre-portion them is obviously to make sure that the cooking is completely kind of at the same time. There's no hard ones or soft ones, etc., etc. And we've got some herbs. So with that, you're going to have some. You should have some chicken stock or beef stock in your grocery bags. We're going to be using them with our fondant potatoes, some thyme and some garlic cloves, and a bit of butter as well. Oh yeah, and the last thing we've got is the tender stem broccoli, some butter and some almonds. That's going to make a really nice light side accompaniment. I think that's everything for the box as we go on. So yeah, as I say, they're going to take about another 11 minutes, 10 more minutes, something like that. So what we're doing now is probably going to be focusing on the tacos. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, we best go over how many pans you're going to need as well. So you're going to need one pan, which is going to be for your potatoes, your potato fondant, so you need a nice pan for that. Something quite big, so obviously you've got anything between 7 to 10 potatoes on there, so something that's going to have enough surface area on that to hold all your potatoes on. You're going to have a pan for your Chateaubriand. Now some of you might have a iron skillet or a cast iron pan or something like that. Now that's fine for steaks with a bit of fat in it, and you want to kind of use the skull marks to make it look all kind of fancy and things like that. But with a Chateaubriand or a fillet, for example, because it's quite a smooth texture, if you come a bit closer you can probably see it, because it's a really smooth texture all the way around. You want all the angles to be all the sides, to be cooked as evenly as possible. And with a flat pan, you're going to have that nice caramelization right the way around the steak. So you're going to need one pan for the Chateaubriand as well. We're going to use the same pan as well, unless you've got a gluten intolerance. I don't believe anyone who's bought the box has mentioned anything about gluten, so we can just use the same pan for the tacos as well. And you're going to need one more pan for your tender stem broccoli a bit later on. So you're going to need just 3 pans and potentially a roasting dish, depends on how much you want that Chateaubriand cooked, okay? So I'm just going to get the pan, the Chateaubriand pan, or the taco pan on a pretty low heat. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab our taco shells, and we're going to just slowly just put some heat onto them. And when you add a bit of heat onto them, they go a bit floppy. What we're going to do is we're going to get them into a nice, like a taco shell type of shape. Fancy little tongs that you bought me. Should I use the red ones because it's Valentine's Day? heard me right. You heard me right. Horrendous. So yeah, so again, just a small smidgen of heat. And what you want to do is, if you've got, you just want a tiny drop of oil. You don't want too much, otherwise it's going to go a bit shit, to be honest. So you just want just a tiny bit of oil all over the taco shells. And I just like to give them a slight element of salt as well. And these will literally take maybe a minute, maybe two. Depends how hot your pan is, but that's what we're going to get them on the oven, on the pan straight away. And they'll, as I say, they take about a minute or two just to crisp up. You might want to put your bonbons to the top of the oven now as well, because they've had enough time to start getting hot, start getting a bit browned. So they won't be too far away. Right, they'll start to bubble on the surface that's looking like you, so just give them a little flip over, and you can see they just started to lightly toast on there, almost like a bit of a pancake. It's pancake day on the 16th, yeah, which is Tuesday. So we have to make sure we do a few double sessions in the gym. Our gym in the garage, by the way, we're not doing it illegally. Otherwise, you're not getting no pancakes. Not with tits like that. So yeah, just a couple more minutes on them, just to kind of get them a bit more durable. I'm going to use the same pan. To heat up this. Obviously, you have to just get it washed just before your Chateaubriand goes in. But it's only 2 minutes, isn't it? So yeah, they are nearly done. If you have got your heat on a really high heat, guys, as well, they will start to burn, so just make sure it's low. And the good thing about leaving it in the pan as well, when you take it off the heat, it will just keep the flexibility of the taco shell, which is boss. So basically, you can start to see now it's just starts to catch. Go over here. When I come over here, you gotta go down. It'll start to catch on the side. That's how it goes. Little trick, you can just use the side of the tongue and you can just hold it in place. They are hot, guys, but I've been working in the kitchen for a few years, so my hands are just like completely used to it by now. So yeah, so you want to just keep them. One of them's hungry. Sous chefs is hungry. So yeah, they'll start to cool down, and what they're going to do, they're going to remain into shape. As I say, guys, we do use different, totally different breads at the restaurant, but it makes sense for us to just make sure that we will provide the things that everyone was familiar with. We've had so many people. Thanks everybody as well for purchasing the box, and it's really, like, you don't understand how much this has helped. It's a really tough time for everyone in the restaurant industry, but this has just really helped them on, so thank you, genuinely thank you very much. Right, okay, so they are now taking shape. As I say, it's really simple, and if you do want to jazz it up with whatever, you're more than welcome to. So put that back on the heat, because as I say, Sofod wants the sauce done. Okay, so as I say, they are now done. These tacos won't be red hot, because that's not what they're designed to be. They're designed to be enjoyable, bite-sized, friendly, and things like that. So I've just applied some oil to the steak pieces. You want to just toss them around, and you want to get, my bad as well, guys, you want to get a different pan ready to go on these. These are going to take about four minutes to cook through, and by that time the bonbons will be ready as well. So as I say, we've got them in shape now, which is boss. while that pan's just heating up, you've already just started to load them with your apple slaw. I'll just, again, it'll add a bit of sweetness, a bit of a crunch to your tacos, which is exactly what you want. He's passed out, absolutely snoring his tits off. Was that you? I'm boring you. You might say, no, never.
Yeah.
You don't bore me, that's what you meant to say. Right, okay, so tiny bit of oil in the pan. Again, sorry guys, you will need that extra pan, it's my fault. If you have got a limited amount of pans, then feel free to use the same pan again. Just make sure you wash it through later on. Because there is so many herbs and spices on that beef as well, guys, it will maybe get a bit smoky, or it might kind of get on your chest or anything like that. That just means you've done a boss job and seasoned it. I'm not going it for you. So they will start to turn brown. Make sure you kind of separate them in the pan as well. That will allow an even cook on them as well. It smells so good. Right. They're about 4 minutes away, which is boss. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to split the video up slightly. So what we're going to, after we finish this, we're going to pause it, we'll stop it, and then we're then going to start the second video. So it's going to be labelled, I don't know, Valentine's, I'm not decided yet, I'm literally thinking of it out loud. It's going to be Valentine's part 1, Valentine's part 2. So part 2 will obviously go over how we're going to do the mains. I don't want to kind of intrude on you kind of enjoying your starters together. And then of course you can cook your mains at whatever speed you want. You smell that?
Okay.
So good. Sometimes not on this is where you want to leave it in the pan, just to kind of get that real good crisp on the steak strips. It just makes it so much better, so much tastier. It always has that burnt effect. Like, you know, if you have like lasagna or something like that, the best part, so is the burnt cheese, isn't it? That's exactly the same thing you want to be doing. You want the burnt aspect of things on the steak. Of your piping bag, you want to just pipe. You might have a bit of excess water as well, guys, so just bear that in mind. You want to get that ready for the bonbons, so they're going to come off the oven in a second. I'm just going to slide that over here so we can start plating our starters. Guess which plate's mine? Right, your steak strip should be done and your bonbon should be near completion as well. If they're not and your oven isn't as fast as that, don't panic. Just leave everything in a hot pan. It'll stay quite nice. And if you have got your partner sat in there, you know, watching you, make sure he's got or she's got everything else in place for your mains. It's not fast paced. It looks really complex, but it's not fast paced at all. Okay, but it's only simple when you're nice and organised. So what you want to do is you want to do it in a strip, so almost creating a like a salsa, tomato salsa bed for the bonbons. Our bonbons are definitely done, so they will have just taken on a nice crisp. Yeah, they are done. And you want to just put them on there. And then you want to get your piping bag. And you want to pipe some of the whipped feta cheese around. Now that is quite hot, quite strong as well, guys, so just bear that in mind. I'm going to garnish it with some coriander. Again, if you don't like coriander, don't bother, it's not a problem. Or just some parsley, we completely fine. And then you want to just load your tacos up. Be careful, these are quite delicate to do, so just bear that in mind. You want to make them as full as possible. You don't want any bite to kind of not have the right ingredients in. The chef must have liked me giving me all this meat. So they are the tacos as well. Oops. And again, this is really spicy, so just bear that in mind when you're plonking that on. And then again, you just want to just garnish with some coriander. And some chilies just for decoration. And that, guys, is your Valentine's starter. Looks very nice. So yeah, part 2 is going to be on whenever you're ready to go. Just bear in mind, you may just need your kettle boiled for it. But otherwise, enjoy your starters, and I will see you whenever you're ready. See you later. Bye.